In the age of the internet, fame is everywhere, but lasting influence is rare. Millions of names appear on screens every day, but only a few become symbols, names that represent something bigger than a single person. Angela White is one of those names. To some, she represents controversy. To others, empowerment. To many, success in a highly competitive and misunderstood industry. But behind the headlines, the online discussions, and the assumptions, there is a much deeper story, one that involves education, strategy, self-ownership, and a clear understanding of how modern media works. This is not just the story of a public figure. This is the story of a woman who understood power, learned the rules of an industry, and then chose to play by her own terms. This is the story of Angela White. Angela White was born on March 4th, 1985, in Sydney, Australia. From a young age, she was known for being intelligent, articulate, and independent. Unlike the stereotypes often attached to people who later enter controversial industries, Angela grew up in a relatively stable environment and excelled academically. Her curiosity about human behavior, identity, and society led her to pursue higher education. She later attended the University of Melbourne, one of Australia's most respected universities. There, she studied gender studies, a field that examines power structures, identity, representation, and social norms. This choice would later shape not only her career, but how she defended it. While many people separate education and entertainment, Angela never did. She viewed her academic background as a tool, one that helped her analyze the industry she would later enter. Her honors thesis focused on women working in adult entertainment and explored whether agency, autonomy, and empowerment could exist within such spaces. This wasn't a rebellious phase. It wasn't ignorance. It was research-driven intention. Angela White entered the adult entertainment industry in her early 20s. But unlike many stories people assume, this was not a situation where she was discovered or pressured. It was a deliberate decision. Angela has stated multiple times that she understood the risks, the stigma, and the long-term consequences before she began. What made her different was not just confidence, but preparation. From the very beginning, she emphasized clear boundaries, informed consent, control over her image, professional standards. While others entered the industry with little leverage, Angela approached it like a business negotiation. She didn't see herself as disposable. She saw herself as a brand in development. One of Angela White's greatest strengths was timing. She entered the industry during a period when the internet was reshaping entertainment. Traditional studio systems were losing power, while independent creators were gaining it. Angela recognized this shift early. Instead of relying entirely on studios, she invested in personal websites, direct-to-fan platforms, content ownership, long-term audience engagement. She understood something many people missed. In the digital age, ownership matters more than exposure. Rather than chasing short-term popularity, she focused on sustainability, building a name that could last beyond trends. This strategy allowed her to maintain relevance while others faded. In highly competitive industries, talent alone is rarely enough. Angela White became known not only for visibility, but for professionalism. She consistently showed up prepared. She respected boundaries, hers and others. She treated collaborations like contracts, not favors. This reputation made her someone people wanted to work with. Over time, she became known as reliable, disciplined, and strategic, qualities often ignored when discussing public figures in controversial spaces. But professionalism was one of the key reasons her career lasted as long as it did. Angela White's influence eventually translated into historic recognition. She became the first performer to win AVN Female Performer of the Year 3 consecutive times. This achievement was not just symbolic, it changed how success was measured within the industry. Awards followed. Global recognition followed. But more importantly, authority followed. She was no longer just participating. She was shaping standards. Her name became a benchmark, a point of comparison for others entering the field. One of the most defining aspects of Angela White's career has been her advocacy for performer autonomy. She consistently emphasized choosing collaborators, setting limits, rejecting projects that didn't align with her values, prioritizing safety and consent. At a time when these topics were often ignored or dismissed, Angela spoke about them openly and intelligently. She reframed conversations around agency, showing that choice and professionalism could coexist with controversial work. This made her voice influential beyond entertainment circles. Public visibility always attracts criticism. Angela White has faced judgment from multiple sides, sometimes simultaneously. Some criticized her career choice, others questioned her success. Some dismissed her intelligence because of her profession. But Angela rarely responded emotionally. Instead, she responded with education. In interviews, she referenced research. She explained systems. She reframed narratives. Rather than fighting criticism, she out-argued it. Angela White's ability to articulate her views made her a frequent guest in mainstream media discussions. She appeared in podcasts, interviews, panels, academic conversations. She spoke not just as a performer, but as a commentator on modern media, digital labor, and self-branding. This broadened her public image and challenged stereotypes. Many people earn money, few build systems. Angela White understood that careers, especially controversial ones, require planning beyond popularity. She diversified income streams. She invested in her brand. She treated her name as intellectual property. This mindset allowed her to remain relevant long after others exited the industry. Angela White's legacy is not limited to awards or numbers. Her real impact lies in normalizing conversations about consent, demonstrating personal branding power, showing how education and entertainment intersect, challenging outdated narratives. She became a case study, not just a celebrity. Angela White's story is complex, and that complexity is what makes it important. She exists at the intersection of controversy, intelligence, autonomy, and modern media. You don't have to agree with her choices to recognize her strategy. You don't have to admire her career to respect her discipline. Angela White didn't follow a path blindly. She studied it, questioned it, and then chose to walk it on her own terms. And in doing so, she secured a lasting place in modern internet and cultural history.